I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence to let them in, talk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes.
I see you enjoying that music, Abraham. All right. How you and Fanny doing today?
Great, great. Happy to
Fantastic.
be here.
Yes.
I'm glad to have you all here too. Excited about the audience learning about you all's journey and you all's story, and so we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about startup on the block. So just in case we got any new people in the audience, so yeah, so you are you two planning on entering our pitch competition?
Absolutely. I'm excited
Okay.
about it.
All right, all righty, all righty. Yeah, and so we definitely want to thank our sponsors for that. Industry is a money sponsor, so they put up to $5,000 for it. So they're definitely interested in supporting Black and Brown founders, and we have some. And I guess Abraham, you got on the Lean Stack program, start working on that. And when is Fanny gonna get on there?
I'm working on my idea.
Okay. All right. I'm just messing with you a little bit. But the reason why I mentioned that is Gulf Power provided the funding for us to actually do that. That's now Florida Power and Light. But so all of these sponsors, they're interested in supporting founders. And it's kind of like an economic development play from the standpoint of if you can teach people the best practices for building a business, and you can teach them and also teach them how to build a scalable business, then you can actually create more jobs in the local economy. So it's a kind of like an economic development play. Both our local chambers are supporting us, the Pensacola Chamber and the Minority Chamber. And so if you win first place, you get a free membership from both chambers. So that's a really sweet deal there. Bantucola is another one of our sponsors, and have you put your business in the Bantucola Black Business Directory?
I have not done that yet. I
Okay.
guess I need to know how to go about doing that.
Oh, Bantucola.com.
Okay.
That's literally that simple. And Chris Hendricks is the one that actually runs that, and he is also our streaming partner, and so it's a great site if you're looking for Black businesses here on the Gulf Coast. So that's what that's all about. Small Business Development Center, they've been a big help to us, and we definitely refer people to them to get help with their small business or startup. And the First Bank, they are a big supporter of our startup program and also our nonprofit. They sponsored our last pitch competition. Yes. So the one thing that's different about this particular pitch competition, in the past, we actually had people just write the 250 words to describe their business idea. And so what we noticed, we needed to kind of make sure people understood how to describe the business idea. And so we added the requirement to do the lean stack training with the business model design, foundations in business model design, and it teaches you how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely. So when you put in your application, you just do it based on that as a result of you going through that training. So that's the new key thing, and I think it'll benefit most people there. All righty, so we'll take a second and for you all just to introduce yourselves, and so we can kind of know who you are.
Thank you, Lloyd. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting us, Lloyd, to
Yes.
talk about our journey. which has been a very interesting, a fun, exciting, up and down journey. But my name is Abraham Scully. I am the founder of Speaks to Inspire, the mental health solution for young adults suffering in silence. We are a programming and consulting agency working with colleges and universities to help develop programs throughout the country.
Fanny?
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here. My name is Fanny Scully. I am a speaker and storyteller at Space to Inspire.
Fantastic. Glad to have you here as well. I guess so. What do you two know about this startup stuff? I guess that's kind of a loaded question. Did you think of yourself as a startup when you're based on what you've been doing in the past with your business?
Yeah, I would consider Speaks to Inspire still a startup, even until this point. We have grown tremendously since March of 2020 when it was founded. But I would say definitely still in the startup phase in terms of understanding what it means to build a business, scale and grow and expand. So yeah, I would say yes. In terms of understanding what a startup is, initially I don't think I understood fully. I was just interested in providing a solution to a problem that I saw, and just went ahead and kind of just figured it out as I got started.
Yeah, and so like we have quite a few Black founders that are actually have businesses ideas, and so I think the challenge sometimes comes when how do you make it scalable? If you got an existing business, how do you make it scalable so you can actually reach more customers or more people? And so so that's but it's all about, to me, it's all about designing that business model that allows you to scale, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. I agree, and I think the foundation is extremely important, especially if you're looking to expand. I think, like you mentioned, the business model, I feel like, is the foundation.
Yes.
And so making sure that's set up before trying to grow so that it can grow effectively. So I agree.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, so I think you all asked me earlier, how long we've been doing this, and I did totally update this slide, but we're probably close to 90 events now. We've been doing this since August 2020. So yeah, it's definitely a labor of love. And what I find as we continue, to interact with this, we're learning, working with the founders and learning what they need to help them scale their businesses. And we're at the point now, we just think we see that people like you, Fanny and Abraham, we need to have you all mingle with some of the other founders and learn from each other and grow in that way as well. And whatever you all need, we just, as founders, whatever support you need, we need to be there to to kind of help you all grow in your business idea. And so this is kind of an illustration of this idea. On the left, it's just somebody with an idea, and then startup on the blocks in the middle. We do all these things to kind of teach you the best practices, and we got all these tools that you can use, and weekly newsletter, weekly networking events. And you all didn't get a chance to participate in the networking event tonight, but so basically what that is, just like you and I on here talking now, you talk one-on-one with other founders and other people in the ecosystem, and for 5 minutes, at a time, and then that's you get to meet and understand what other founders are doing, and it's really a worthwhile process. So we actually continued to do that all the way through COVID, and so because you need to network and connect and get ideas and to move forward, and then on the right over here is it's like I call it like the ecosystem. It's got all these pitch competitions. It's got all these pre-accelerator programs. It got all these showcases for founders. So like I think I don't know if it started yet, but up in Montreal they have the Collision Conference, and it's basically a startup showcase. They have thousands of founders that have booths, and you walk around to all these founder booths, and these people are pitching their ideas. So have you ever been to anything like that?
I haven't, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and so so there's just so many different. So there's facilities, and so like let's say if you were building something, they're even like let's say if you're building some automotive technology or something, Detroit has a facility that they let startups use,
Nice.
to test out their idea and build their idea. So
Nice.
that's what the ecosystem is for. And they have all these different verticals depending on which vertical you're in. So you all would be in maybe like an ed tech, not ed tech, well, it could be ed tech, but both health tech type thing. And so there are big health companies that actually sponsor startups like you to build products and services that can be, marketed out to the industry. So what do you think about a big company helping you on your idea?
I love that. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what. And so what we try to do with that lean stack training you all are going on right now is most of these programs you have to write in an application, and so in this application is what determines whether you get selected for the program. And so that's why you do this business model design, so you can pitch your idea and show that your idea is desirable, and that it's feasible, and it's viable. And so that's the part that a lot of founders struggle with. They don't know how to make it viable, that it can actually scale and sustain that scalability. And so that's what that business model design and foundation training you all are taking is, it's going to help you with. And the idea is, let's say you decide y'all want to build a platform to expand out you all's courses or content. So the deal is, you want to make sure how you build that it is scalable, but you want to make sure you got it priced in a way that you can actually attract enough people to it to get it to grow on a regular basis.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of what the scenario is, but I think some people have a hard time believing that there are resources out there to actually help you do stuff like that. But that's what the startup ecosystem is. And so instead of going out getting all these loans, you leverage the ecosystem to get the funding and the partnerships that you need to actually build what you're building. And so the other thing you do is like let's say you need to build some software for Speak to Inspire, and it's going to could cost some money. But if you pitch your idea clearly and concisely, you'll find somebody that may want to come on board as a part of your team and actually build it for you.
Okay.
And that's why you need to learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely.
And so that's what you're going to help me with in this pitch competition, right?
Yeah, well, that's what the pitch competition is. We want to make sure you get some practice and learn how to do that, and also we want to make sure if you work hard enough and pitch it, and the judges. And this time we're hoping to have some investor judges, but when they start asking you those questions, then that's when you got to know how to answer the questions.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so but see, like when you go through the training, it's involved the type of questions. So when you think of the lean canvas, all the questions are going to be around what's in that lean canvas. So
okay.
you got that business model design right, and I don't know if you start working with the traction roadmap tool yet, but it yeah, customer factory tool. It actually, that's the thing that determines if your business model is viable or not.
Okay. Oh, so
Yeah,
it tells you ahead of time.
yeah, that's right. So when you
Oh,
out
wow.
there pitching, you know it's viable. So you won't be like I was when I'm out there when I first got started. I'm pitching and I bring up these financials, and then all my confidence drains away because I don't know what the hell all those numbers mean.
Yeah, that's nice. That's helpful.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And for in general, we put this playbook out there just so people they can just use it. You can literally just use this playbook and get on the right track, even if you didn't connect with a lot of these programs and stuff like that. But so we put that out there so people can actually move forward with what they're doing. And so you're all familiar with Ash, and so the um, we I'm gonna make sure everybody knows who all the mentors are. So like depending on which one of these mentors might be best for you all and what your particular actual business model is. Yes. So we got a nice variety of folks with quite a variety of experience. So to kind of help you move forward there. Yes, and we do the office hours, on Saturdays, and so I'm not sure if you all are familiar with the Startup Social. So it's always the Tuesday before 1 million cups at 4:30 here locally. Yeah, and so I think the next one is going to be at the SCI building at the Spring, and then we'll host the one in is that August? Yeah, we'll host the one in August at Kukua Institute. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of the big idea about startup on the blocks. Anybody in the audience have any questions? Feel free to put them in the chat. Do you two have any questions? About uh, the what we're doing.
No questions right now, but I am um, very interested in winning this pitch competition. So, so I'm hoping that you're on my side, Lloyd.
Well, I won't be a judge, but I can help you get ready. Yeah, and had you met Daniel Pennington yet?
I have.
Yeah, so he's the guy that coached me for my pitching stuff, and yeah, he always jokes, I won like I don't know a bunch of cash like uh, in the local programs, like locally 25,000, 5,000, and a lot of in-kind services, and so that stuff actually helps you um, get the funding you need to actually build whatever you're trying to build to make it more scalable. Or marketing doc if you already have something built, marketing dollars to kind of, iron out what your customer acquisition costs are and the lifetime values of your customers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So like for Abraham, well, I'll start with Fanny first. Like, so when you were in high school, a teenager, what did you think you would be doing what you're doing now?
Not exactly the way it looks like right now,
Mm-hmm.
but I have been passionate about mental health advocacy and wellness since I was a teenager because I
Okay.
came from my own personal experience with mental illness
Mm-hmm.
and growing up in a Hispanic household. I am born and raised in Venezuela,
Okay.
100% Latina.
Fantastic.
And that came with some challenges when it came to stigma about mental health. And
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I grew up in a house where it wasn't safe to talk about it. There wasn't a lot of information about
Mm-hmm.
how to take care of our mental health. but I saw it every day. I saw mental illness and severe mental illness every day. So I felt like I wanted to do something about that for myself and for the people that I loved. So that's what led me to getting degrees in this field, and going into this path of advocacy. But I never thought that it would look like what we do now.
Yeah. So,
It's way more awesome.
yeah. So, what were you think you were going to be doing when you were in high school, and how, and what were you working towards?
So I initially thought that I was going to go into the therapy route.
Okay.
And then I recently graduated with my master's in clinical social work, and
Okay.
I got to work in the field for about 2 years.
Hmm.
And then I realized I don't think individual therapy is what I want to do, because I think that I can create such an impact in our communities when we focus in advocacy, in policy changes, and all the other factors that influences somebody's journey to
Okay.
realizing that they're struggling and then seeking professional help. So I felt like my talents and my passion could be best used in this area.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, Abraham, same question for you. When you were in high school, what did you think you were going to be doing?
So I always knew I was going to be doing this.
Oh.
Nah, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. So funny thing, I grew up in an entrepreneurial environment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so my parents are both immigrants from Jamaica.
Okay.
So they moved to Miami, Florida from Jamaica, and started their family here. But growing up, I always saw my dad start businesses and run businesses. At one point, he had a cleaning company, a transportation company,
Wow.
a landscaping company, all at one time.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so I was in that environment. So I knew that, I guess, getting a traditional job wasn't the only option, because I saw my dad start from nothing and create something, and then do it successfully. Um, I just didn't know that I was going to get into it exactly, or what it would look like.
Okay.
When I did get to college, though, my first year of college, I actually declared a major in information technology.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the reason was because during that time, cybersecurity was really getting popular, and
Hmm.
it was like a guaranteed job and a guaranteed big check. And so I was interested in getting a lot of money.
All
So
right.
I went that route, and did IT for about a year. Well, not even a full year. I think the first semester of that first year, and I took a Java programming class. And from that experience, I completely went in the opposite direction of IT, because Java programming, and what I hear is that that's like the basics of it. So if I couldn't even get through Java, I was I wasn't going to go too far. So, but I also didn't have a passion for it. I was just
Okay.
focused on, like, where can I get money in a fast way. So, similar to what Fanny shared, I had my own personal experience with different mental health challenges. So it sparked an interest to do something in that field. I didn't know what it looked like. And so I ended up switching my major from information technology to psychology.
Okay.
But when I went in the route of psychology, that's when I knew that I wanted to learn how to create something. I wasn't sure if it was a business or it was a tool, but I knew I wanted to create some sort of solution,
Okay.
because I was very intentional about learning psychology so that I could potentially create something. And so as I continued into the major, and also got connected in different communities in Pensacola, entrepreneurship kind of became in the conversations, and I started to kind of, dip my foot into different things, and then found that there was a lane that I could actually take this to turn, a passion of mine into a profitable business.
Gotcha.
And when I found that that was the case, that's when I kind of, focused in and really started building something that I was not only passionate about, interested in, but that could be profitable.
Right, right. They generally say like do what you're passionate about and the money will follow. You know, can't tell, but you have to definitely design a good business model around what you're passionate about. Yeah, because the bottom line is what we see in talking with founders. There's so many ways you can design your business model, and so you just have to. So the big question is, how do what's all the different business models and what do you do different about your business model that allows you to grow based on your passion. Yeah. So one other question before we get into your some more stuff about your startup. So how did you all's journey end up connecting together with and with the Speak to Inspire?
Yeah, so funny story. We actually attended school during the same time,
Okay.
and we were at the University of West Florida for years before we actually met.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was that we were in the same degree, so we were both psych majors,
Okay.
and we both had the same friends and all that stuff, but we just never met each other. But when we finally did meet each other, I think it was our junior year, we really connected because we shared like similar passions for the type of work that we wanted to do and the types of problems that we wanted to solve. So at that point, I was already in terms of like getting something going, I was already doing something. Now, like you mentioned, I love how you mentioned, Lloyd, it's very important to have like a business plan or a business model in the beginning. I didn't have that. I was just going off of pure passion.
Yes.
I didn't even know that someone would pay me to do some of the things that I was doing and offering the type of service that I was offering. I was just like, this is something that I like to do. I can see how it helps people. I just want to do it all day, every day.
Yeah,
and it wasn't until
Yeah, you go ahead and finish, and I'll chime in.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it wasn't until later that I found out the importance of actually having a foundation and having systems in place and a model in place so that I can turn the passion into something profitable.
Yes.
But I definitely learned, I wouldn't say I learned the hard way, but I did fail a whole lot until I got to the place that we are now. So.
Yeah, and I think there are a lot of successful businesses out there, and so you all are generating revenue, and then so the question becomes how can you make that scalable? But before we get into that, let's answer Octavia's question. Okay. Yeah. So basically, the first part of her question is the pitch competition in person or strictly with written submission. So the flow is and this is the flow for most opportunities in the startup ecosystem. You do a written submission, and then from that written submission, you get selected to through the different stages like semifinals, finalists, and then the finalists are the one that does the verbal pitch. But it starts from the blocks. We like to make our program accessible, so you get the pitch online. So, like for example, like we'll be on using the same platform as you're looking at right now, and then we'll load up your pitch, and then then you can actually just scroll to it and actually do your pitch. We don't require you to have a presentation, but it's always good. But some people are I've seen people do pitches without the slide deck. But we'll for our the ones that are going to get the pitch, we'll send you a sample slide deck so you'll know what to do it. And we also will have a practice session to help you feel comfortable. But the bottom line is we're trying to help you learn and how to prepare for a pitch competition, or how to prepare to get accepted to a program, and that's what the purpose of all of this is. And so let's see what the next part of your question is. So like the lean stack training. So the reason why we added the lean stack training in there, because we've had 3 pitch competitions so far, and we just required the 250 word description to enter the pitch competition. But what we saw, the audience wasn't understanding that when you're pitching something, you're trying to pitch something that's scalable. You're trying to pitch your business model. You're not pitching your product. You're not pitching your service. You're pitching how you make money. How you attract customers. And how do you retain customers? What's the lifetime value of your customers? How much does it cost you to acquire a customer? And so that's what we want to make sure you understand, because so that's kind of an idea about that. So as far as the material, so the lean stack training, so there's 2 modules in there that you have access to. One is called the foundations. Let me just see, can I pull it up? I think I actually have that here somewhere. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and show you what you have to what you need to kind of complete before. And so like this foundation training, let me add it to the screen here. This foundation training, it's basically when you log into your thing, you're going to see this foundation training and this business model design training. This is your core stuff. And so if this is all grayed out, but this first lesson is like, an hour, next one 52 minutes, next one 40 minutes, next one an hour, and this last one is 4 minutes. So it's much less than 5 hours to get through this foundation training. Now the business model design thing is actually shorter. And so the first module is 4 minutes, the second module is 28 minutes, next one is 37 minutes, next one 38 minutes, and the last one is 3 minutes. But what is, so you see number 3 here, you're going to stress test your idea a little bit. And so any idea business idea you have, what you want to know before you start building it is it desirable? Do people actually want it? And is it viable? And so most things these days, unless it's something way crazy, it's definitely feasible. And so because there's so much the technology platforms out there to make things scalable, it's not that hard. Most things, ideas you have, they can actually be built in a minimal viable with minimal viable features in 2 months, if you got your team together. But you're never going to get the team if you can't convince a coder or software developer or designer, graphic designer, that your idea is actually viable. And there's a really opportunity to make money. So, but these 2 training modules are really what you're doing, and they have let's see, the tools that actually go with them as well. Let's see. Yeah, but basically you have each team actually has can do a lean canvas that you need to do, and each section in the lean canvas, there's a video inside the lean canvas that tells you how to do it. And let's see something here. I was trying to see if I could find my thing here, but I don't see it. Let's see, I'll switch out of here real quick. Is any of this stuff? Abraham, do you remember saying some of the stuff that we're talking about here?
Yeah, so I'm actually on the last part for the foundations course before they give me access to the business model. So I may be able to just get it done today,
Yeah. It's not really that long. That's what the point I was trying
I do
to
have a
make.
question though, Lloyd.
Sure, go right ahead.
So, in terms of the pitch, and you're saying that we're pitching the business model, um, being that we have a business that is functioning,
Yeah.
do we have to, or in the pitch, am I creating something in addition to what we're doing, or is there another route that we can take that's already in alignment with what we're doing?
Yeah,
Just
definitely in the line of what you're doing. Because like, so in your case, what um, so what is your motivation? What is your motivation with the training? Because just tell me why are you really interested in learning this stuff?
learning what
This
part?
Yeah. So you all have been making money, right?
Yes.
So but and you're reaching a certain number of people, but how do you reach more people?
Okay, gotcha. I understand your question now.
Yeah.
So the motivation is basically being able to efficiently be on more campuses throughout the country.
Yes, that's exactly right.
So I guess the follow-up question would be for the pitch, am I pitching our approach to growing and expanding to different uh, schools, or
So like
you understand?
that's like your customer acquisition. So how easy is it for you to onboard customers?
Okay, so that's what I will be pitching.
Well, so like the business. So like if you see this is the link canvas, and so like I was saying, it's got all the 9 areas that you have to fill out. And if you think about your pitch, you definitely solving some problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to demo your solution.
Mm-hmm.
And so you demoing something that hasn't even been built yet in most cases.
Okay.
So that's what people that's most people have trouble with that. So you have an idea of what you want your product to be, and work and the way that it can actually scale out to a lot of use. So you got some type of platform where you can onboard customers, and it costs you a certain amount to onboard customers.
Gotcha.
And you
Okay.
have those customers are doing repeatable income, so like recurring income, and they last a certain amount of time.
Gotcha.
So you get the lifetime value of the customer, and then so all this that's what I'm telling you now. Talking now is just marketing stuff. So like
Yeah.
marketing
Yep.
manager kind of know this stuff. But so like when you're pitching, um, so so you got your problem here. But so what value are you actually bringing to the customer? So like and then like talks about this unfair advantage. What's different about your approach than somebody else that's teaching, mental health or
Gotcha.
suicide
Okay.
prevention? Yeah,
That helps.
yeah. And so in your pitching, this is the part that gets everybody in trouble. Is they got a service and um, let's say you get in there and you pitch. Um, we building a platform that students all over the world can use our platform. So there's 10 million students. So the question is, how can you market to 10 million students? You see what I'm saying? But you can say, well, we're starting off with colleges, and then we're going to expand to these other customer segments.
Gotcha.
You see, so like in your case, you all got traction with the colleges, and so now, but there's probably so do you have a plan for getting to the schools, the K through 12 schools?
Not yet.
Yeah, see the private schools. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so so when you have money, or when you're trying to pitch to investors, they want to know, and see that's what this thing here does. And so this is the tool that determines if your business is viable, and you have access to this tool, and you can actually build your thing. So this particular thing, I think I showed this once before. in 3 years you want to make a certain amount of money per year. And so so when in our training, when we built this thing, we started off with $50 a month, and then we were going to have to see hundreds of thousands of people into our funnel in order to get there, and it just wasn't viable because you don't have enough money to market to that many people. So if I see a canvas over here, if I see a customer factory that says I need to attract 10 million visitors to my site in order to make my goal of $10 million a year in 3 years. You see what I'm saying? That's not viable. Yeah. So let me see. Octavia's got some more. Let's see what she's asking here. Okay. So Octavia, you have access to the application, and I think you're already in the Lean Stack training. So what you're doing is you're writing those 250 words, but based on what you're going through in this training, it's going to help you figure out the best way to write those 250 words, and then. And when you go back, let's go back here to your canvas, and we're requiring you to submit your canvas here so you can actually export this particular canvas out to a PDF and actually upload it. Here it says export. Yeah, but the good news is it's like so. Let's say we're talking about unique value proposition.
Dead center in the canvas.
Yeah, so it tells you what that is and how to
your
explain
unique value proposition. Your unique value proposition around.
So am I making sense to everybody?
Yeah, this is helpful.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Yeah, let's see here. Okay. Yes. Okay. So so the deal is the requirements are really and so is it mandatory? So what we're asking, so to be competitive, you definitely need to submit a lean canvas, and to be competitive, you need to describe your business model in those 250 words. So if I was an investor, from those 250 words you write, I understand how you make money, I understand who your customers are and what's different about you, and why you are the one to build this particular solution. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and we sort of base this off. But the bottom line is the lean canvas is a one-page business plan. It simplifies, that your idea of a business plan. And then when you look at this, we're not requiring you to submit this traction roadmap or customer factory thing, but it's the thing that helps you understand if your idea is viable. Yeah. And so I can tell you, if you get in there and see that you can come up with a marketing approach to attract so many people that will and based on your recurring revenue that you have, and so that's kind of what that is. But so the trick is, you could have a product or service, and it could be the best product or service, but you have to create a business model to actually deliver that product and service. Yeah. And so like in your case, so there's so many ways you could go with your business model. So have you two ever seen a something related to what you all are doing, where there's a platform that connects all the people that are doing what you all are doing, and connecting them with the customers? You see what I'm saying? Like let's say Airbnb, you got all these places that you can go stay, and you got all these users that are traveling, and so you're connecting them together. So is there a dilemma? Is there a business model for you all based on your knowledge that is there a need to do something like that? You so just so many different ways you can go. Or if you got classes, like so you all said like in your nonprofit and your for-profit business here that you wanted to um, um, do what? So whether K through 12 or sixth grade through 12th grade?
So that's for the nonprofit with,
Well, I thought when I asked you all yesterday at the 1 Million Cups, like I think you all had, what, the 6th through 12th grade that for what part of the audience you all wanted to attract?
for the nonprofit, yes.
Yeah. But I thought I asked is that, are you all also doing that with the for-profit company? So are you all planning on building stuff for the nonprofit, for the for-profit company that you can actually deliver?
At some point, yes, but right now our target is higher education, so the colleges and universities.
Yes. And so, like, let's say you're targeting something to higher education. Is your customer the higher education, and then but how many students at that higher education institutes are going to receive you all's training?
Okay. So,
Yeah.
you're asking?
Yeah. So your
Okay.
business model right now, it just include your users are the students at the higher education, but the university is actually paying you. Is that what the idea is?
Correct. So the university is the client, and the end user is the student.
Yes. And so is there a software platform that the students use?
There are different online platforms.
Okay.
Canva is one that we hear a lot of in
Okay.
terms of what students
Yeah,
use.
but I mean, like, as far as delivering you all services to the students.
So not a online platform, but there are annual, quarterly, and even monthly events that occur, which is where we bring our services. So for example, schools, every semester they have an orientation. And so orientation is where we can provide services, or if there are monthly programs for students, because schools are required to do programming for their students. So those are the opportunities that we utilize to share our services.
So this is hypotheticals, and this is kind of, so you have to take it as that. I'm not recommending this, but I'm just trying to show the difference in the ways you can actually design your business model. So in for example, like in the K through 12 system, if you were doing the same kind of business model that you were doing in college, like for, let's say, the high schoolers, the schools get here in Escambia County, they get about $7,000 per student. And so and to deliver services to those students. And so so if you design a system or a platform that the students actually could log on and you could deliver servers, you could charge per student. And the same thing with the university. You can charge per student because they have the funds allocated per student.
Okay, so that's information I had no idea. So
this is what a business model is. This is how, when you're designing a business model. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what we are aware of is the budget that is allocated for programming, which is where we come in. But I wasn't aware of budgets that are allocated per student. So that's new information. But there are budgets in specific departments and pools of money that is specific to the services that we provide. So whether that is professional development for faculty and staff, or that is for student programming throughout the year. I just didn't know that there was funds for each individual student in addition to the funds that are allocated for programming.
Yeah, and so if you're saying like you're going to market the colleges and you understand how they pay for your service and the budget they have to pay for your services, when you're pitching, you kind of, you may not tell all your secret sauce, but you want to make sure you know that when these particular schools that you onboarding, colleges that you're onboarding, they have a mechanism for paying you, and you're actually tapping into that mechanism. They don't have to create a new budget. They have allocated budgets for the type of stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's correct.
And you're competing with all the other people that are going out after that allocated funding.
That's correct. And all that information is public information. So we know what those budgets are and allocated budgets are for the year, and even, way, far out. So we can see what those are, even in our marketing efforts and the outreach that we do. So because
so
we,
so like if you're pitching and the judges want to understand how you make money, and if you don't articulate that, they're not going to know that you're that smart to know how you onboard these schools and who you need to talk to.
Gotcha.
So you can't take it for granted that the judges, or even the people who are reviewing your application, actually know that you have this insight, and that's what the part is when you might want to say, we have lived this, so we understand how the money flows in this, and that's why we're the best one to build this thing. We need help building it, and so that's why you're pitching.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's good information.
Yeah. So let's see. I want to make sure we're not missing any other questions here. Okay, so we definitely got a little bit more time here. And Octavia, we definitely appreciate your asking those questions. But really, so the neat thing is whether you win the pitch competition or not, and this pitch competition we're doing is peanuts compared to what's out there. You see what I'm saying? And this is just to help you understand that. When you're putting in your application for these things, you're literally articulating what you every pitch application, if you look at, or every application for a program, it's going to ask you, what problem you're solving, who your customer is. It's going to ask the same thing. So if you get this is your business model design. So if you get this right, then you won't have any problem filling out the applications because they're all asking the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so that's what the deal is there. But so like I think the point that I wanted to kind of get, there was a reason you were making a certain amount of money, and now you're trying to figure out how to scale out to more users. So you have to have a business model actually to do that. So so in other words, what I'm communicating here is you have a somewhat traditional business, and but you wasn't really thinking about whether it was actually scalable or not. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I guess the best way to put it is we in the position of being in the startup phase, getting some traction, getting things going, we were able to realize that this can not only be a profitable business, but this can be something that is scalable. So what we're looking into now is, yes, we have clients and recurring clients that we work with, but what would it look like to be on many different or have many different clients in many different places in an efficient way? So I think we shared a little bit at 1 Million Cups that we have a team of individuals who are able to offer the different services that we provide. So it's more like, okay, with the current clients that we do have, who benefit from our services and who are fans of our services because they keep hiring us, how can we duplicate that and kind of 10x that? Because now we know that it works. We know that there is money that is being allocated for this. We kind of validated that this is a solution to many problems that's really going on. So now that we're at that phase, okay, how do we take what we've built and kind of package it and scale it? So that's what interested me with this conversation. I think you shared a lot of great stuff about the business model and being able to articulate clearly each of these things, because we've learned the answers to all of these questions. So it's about how do we package it now to really articulate it, to investors, to receive funding, to scale, but then also to be even more efficient with gaining customers.
Yeah, so based on you just said something that I didn't totally get at first. So you said you have practitioners that help you all deliver your services to all these different.
That's correct.
Yeah, and so so when you're thinking about a business model, and this is what you can actually, in that lean stack, you can experiment with as many business models as you like, many lean canvases as you like, and so like I said, I'm not recommending this, but I just wanted to help you understand. It's like, what if you had a platform for all these practitioners that you all pull it, that can sign up on your platform, and you can leverage them to reach more schools, but you all still receive the money and you pay the practitioners or whatever. Is that so? So I'm just showing you all the different ways that you can actually, not all the ways, but just a kind of a way that you can actually do.
Can you say that again? Can you say that again so I can write it down this time?
Okay, so you all have a team to deliver your service.
Yes.
So which implied to me that you, if you had a bigger team, that you could deliver more service to a lot more customers.
Yes.
So that implies, what if you had a platform that allows you to onboard practitioners and so you could leverage these practitioners to reach all these universities and all these high schools eventually. You see using your methodology.
Correct.
Your secret sauce.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
So that's the only way that I was able to envision what it looks like to scale. But I was interested to know what other avenues can we take. But the only thing that I could conceive in my mind was build a bigger team in different states so that we're offering more services and everyone is using the Speaks to Inspire methodology, the trainings, the courses that we develop and implement and deliver. So I mean, I think this will also, and also being in the pitch, it'll also give me exposure to other types of ideas, which I think would be useful just to kind of get the wheels turning. But that was the only way that I thought it would be possible to scale this type of business.
Yeah, and that's what the whole idea of being creative is. So what I'm going to recommend to you and everyone out there in the audience, the way you learn about these different models, business models, is actually listening to pitches. And so there, I can guarantee you there's a pitch thing going on every day, including Sundays. And so this particular site here, I just came across it a couple of months, not even a month or two ago, but they have, it's a site for all these different programs. They have, whenever at the end of that program, they usually have a demo day, like a pitch competition. And so where all the people that went through their training program, they pitch. And so this site is got tons of schedules up for pitch demo days.
Nice.
And say that's how you learn all the different ways to build business models. But you can sort of target the ones that that actually that for the people who are pitching for your industry.
Mm-hmm.
So you and then that's how you find learn these different business models. So this is a site that does that, and this stunks.com. But if even on the Hopin platform that we use for our events, they have a lot of companies or programs use that as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the audience, that's how you really kind of learn the different approaches, and what most people do, founders do, they literally just they copy off other business models. Or they see a business model. So like in your case, is there another business model out there that one of these major companies use that you could actually adapt to your service? So there's definitely plenty of platforms of companies out there that have practitioners listed on their thing, like mental health practitioners, and they connect them with clients.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lloyd Jr., he's a music instructor, performer, and he teaches music. There's platforms out there that connect people that teach to students that actually do. So you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so you can design some type of model based on that. But I did want to give a plug on this particular program before we wound down tonight. Last week we had Gabriel on, and he was talking about this CEOH program. So it's like a 10-week entrepreneur training program, and they're launching a cohort this month, and so and they do have a few slots left, and it's free training, and literally so they're actually teaching, but this is an example of a free program that's worth like $2,500 per person that you can actually take for free, because they have a grant that actually pays for it.
Nice.
Yeah, and so that it's called the CEOH program. So I put the link in here. So, but I recommend anybody go ahead and apply for that as well. Yeah, and just keep your eye on our newsletter, because it has a lot of opportunities in there. And I was finishing up the newsletter today, I see all these opportunities that they come in the deadline pass. I said, wow, maybe I should have applied for that. It's like 150,000 or whatever. You see what I'm saying? And so you all getting ready to start a nonprofit. There are a couple of new entries for nonprofits today, and so
nice.
Yeah, and so but you have to, when in this nonprofit world, you have to use the same idea. You want to be able to actually scale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So are there any last minute questions out in the audience? And definitely as far as the pitch competition, everybody just go ahead and go, even if you don't think you can finish the lean stuff, go ahead and apply just to see what the process is. Because what we generally do with our pitch competition applicants, all of majority of our semifinalists that get past the screening, we actually invite them into our internal programs and give them access to the mentors and all the free other tools and stuff that we have. So don't worry about it if you don't finish all the training, but I want to make the training available and make sure everybody's aware that the training is available. But as far as Fanny, as far as you all's journey and what you all have been doing, you got any advice or recommendations to the other founders out there and on the startup journey? Also, especially being a husband and wife team, what's that?
I guess the first thing I would say is just to make sure that you ask for help and that you take advantage of as many resources as possible. During this entire interview, we have learned about so many new things that we didn't even know about. Um, and so I think that's one of the key things when you're doing a startup, where usually you're starting maybe by yourself as a solo entrepreneur, or you're starting maybe with another co-founder, or you have a very small team and you want to take advantage of as many resources as possible that are going to help you create a foundation for your business that is going to be long lasting for when you start seeing success, and it doesn't become overwhelming. It can sustain it.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
I guess the only thing I would add to that, and I don't know if you would object to this, Lloyd, but
Go right ahead.
I think it's also important to just go for it. And we
Yeah.
talk a lot about like business plans and making sure we have the systems in place, but you learn a lot in the process of doing. And so for anyone who either has maybe it's a passion, or just maybe, you want to solve a certain problem, or you want to see what you're capable of, just go for it. Fail fast, fail forward, fail often.
Yes.
In that process, just make sure you document what you're learning, so that
Yes.
you can turn that into what you utilize in creating your business plan. Because I think if I would have waited until I had the perfect business plan in place, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I think because of all the failures and like Fanny mentioned, it led me to start asking specific questions, because now my questions were very specific, because I failed at something specific. So I actually had certain things that I needed to know. So I think for any founder who's on the fence of getting started, I would say just go for it and learn as you go, but definitely have in the back of your mind, learn specific things so that you can take this information and apply it to what we were talking today about business plans and having the business model and the all that good stuff, because that's important as well. So
Yeah, I agree with you both. Yeah, and the lean startup methodology is about coming up with an idea, experimenting, see if it works or not. Fail fast, like you mentioned, and so that is the secret sauce to it. Is like your whole startup journey, or like let's say when let's say I um, put up this. See, the journey is long. So like um, so like you say, you spend a month or so on the business model design, and then you go into an accelerator program where you actually find the product solution fit, and then you can see the cycle is actually long. So, and you're never going to know everything, so you just focus on you know um, coming up with some hypothesis or some idea, and then just testing it out. So that's really it's actually a journey, and you have to think of it as a journey, and that you work on what your problem is right then and what that day is, and and there's systems and tools in place to get you through this journey. And the most beautiful thing about this journey, there's organizations out there, no matter what phase of the journey you're in. If you just at the idea phase and you don't have anything built, there's help for you, and you're not supposed to build anything until you've got a viable, feasible, and desirable business model. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And throughout this whole, you don't really have a product or something until you're out here, and so you have to kind of just realize you're going through the process, and the people in the ecosystem understand that it is a process, and you pitch what you're trying to build, and the business model for what you're trying to build, and it's amazing. You can get the help, but you got to learn those key things in that lean canvas and how to talk about them, and you learn from looking at other pitch competition, and they happen all over the world all the time. And so I was telling somebody, so we just finished Memorial Day weekend. I remember just before the year before COVID started in 2019. I was home Sunday morning, and in Atlanta, they were having a pitch competition on Memorial Day weekend. You see what I'm saying? And I said, what are these people doing? We got this the beach, brother. Everybody's down here to the beach, but they were motivated and they were competing for that money. Yeah. Yep. And that's what the idea is. And so yeah, so there's no shortage of opportunities. Okay, well, we appreciate you too, and I appreciate you all, talking about what you're doing and being willing to talk about it openly, so other people can actually learn, from you all's journey. Thanks a lot, Abraham and Fanny.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right, you all take care. See everybody next week. I apologize if we missed any questions. Feel free to reach out, and we'll be glad to help out. And I do have office hours this weekend, and so and you can either do it online or come down to the Kukua Institute, and I think Troy can vouch for you. I think he was one of the winners last time, but he really took advantage of the office hours and asked questions and learned how the pitch is stand. And I don't judge the applicants, but those judges, they can actually see the passion in what you're doing and how much you actually understand. But you have more passion when you know what you're talking about. All right, I'm excited for you all and wish everybody luck. And we're definitely here to help. We'll see you all next.